Welcome to the Open Mic Universe's WrestleMania Rewind. Today we're going to look back at night one of WrestleMania 2, and the night would get started with our Chyna Memorial Battle Royal. 20 ladies from both WWE and WCW, as well as maybe a surprise or two along the way, would do battle in this one. Now there's no trophy on the line, no title, and really not even any guaranteed title opportunity for the winner. We would see here the debut of Naomi. She would make her debut in the Open Mic Universe. But while there's nothing necessarily on the line, you can't really measure what could potentially come out of a win here at WrestleMania. Obviously, you're getting an opportunity on the biggest show of the year. We saw last year at WrestleMania 1, Jade Cargill would get the win, and it would kind of change the course of where her career was going. Didn't really finish the year with a title reign of any kind, but she did have a few championship opportunities, and I think a lot of that really kind of stemmed from her performance here in the inaugural Chyna Memorial Battle Royal. We got down to the final three. Charlotte would eliminate Liv, and then waiting in the wings, ready to capitalize, Shayna Baszler, as she would drop the Queen up and over the top rope and pick up the win. Shayna Baszler, the winner of the second annual Chyna Memorial Battle Royal. Then we had a last man standing match for the WCW Television Championship. The challenger, Shinsuke Nakamura, taking on Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee has held the WCW television title for 11 months, winning it last year at Backlash from Grayson Waller. And in that 11 months, Dragon Lee has been a phenomenal champion. He has met and defeated each challenger that's been in front of him. But Shinsuke Nakamura, a little bit of a different animal, a little bit of a different challenger. And we saw that in the build-up to this, in the lead-up to this match. Nakamura showing that he would go to any lengths to try to get the upper hand, try to get the advantage, and try to put himself in a position to walk out of WrestleMania as the new WCW television champ. Dragon Lee wouldn't make it easy, though. There were a few close calls, but then there you go. You see Nakamura showing that he is willing to play in the gray areas. And because of that, he does find himself the winner. First title match of the night, first title change of the night. Shinsuke Nakamura is the new WCW television champion. Next, we had the WWE United States Championship on the line as Ricochet kind of weaseled his way into this opportunity, taking on Bobby Lashley. As you remember, these two were not only friends, they were teammates. And Lashley really kind of went out of his way to help Ricochet. But in the end, I think just jealousy got the better of Ricochet. And we saw a couple weeks back when there was a little bit of maybe the two not being on the same page in a tag match. But then they kind of worked through it. The following week, they went into another tag match against Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. But midway through the match, Ricochet just bailed on Lashley, leaving Lashley to fend for himself in a handicap match. Didn't work out so well for Bobby that night. But the next couple of weeks, Bobby Lashley stalked and hunted Ricochet and really did a number on him, and that would continue here at WrestleMania. Not really much that Ricochet could do. Bobby Lashley retains. Kind of get the feeling that even with the win, Bobby Lashley is not going to be quick to forget what Ricochet did. Next, the WCW Tag Team Championships were on the line as the Brawling Brutes, who earned this opportunity, winning a tournament to determine who would take on the champs. The New Day winning the Tag Team Championships at Elimination Chamber in their first title defense, and they would come here at WrestleMania 2. And kind of a little bit surprised that we didn't see a little bit more out of the Brutes. New Day winning their first titles back at Elimination Chamber in our universe, but they have been a team for a long time, and that experience, that history definitely showed up in this one. Even Sheamus here looking to try to get an advantage by putting his legs up on the middle ropes, but didn't work. Then we would see the New Day kind of do what they do best, and that is utilize the teamwork. Kofi would cover Ridge, get the 1-2-3, and the New Day would retain and remain WCW Tag Team Champions. Then we had our first of two special attraction matches, special challenge matches, I guess. This one, a submission match between Chad Gable and the Olympic gold medalist and Hall of Famer, Kurt Angle. This is a match that was brought on by Kurt. He's had his eye on Chad for a long time. And I think he sees that there's maybe more to Chad Gable than we've seen, maybe more that Chad Gable has shown himself. And he wanted to give Chad the opportunity to potentially earn a WrestleMania moment for himself. We've seen Chad Gable. He's had some ups. He's had some downs. Probably the biggest high of his time in the open mic universe was when he and Otis were WCW Tag Team Champions. That championship reign came to an end at the Royal Rumble, and since that time, we've kind of seen Chad stuck in a state of mediocrity. And I think Angle maybe sees that there's more to Chad Gable than we've seen, and maybe that Chad even knows that he has. And while going into a submission match with maybe one of the best amateur wrestlers to ever get into professional wrestling, the challenge was huge. But I think Chad showed that while in the end he wasn't able to defeat Kurt, he held his own, and I think not only earned the respect of Kurt Angle, but also maybe showed some flashes, a glimpse of the potential that Chad Gable might possess. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes from here, coming out of WrestleMania and this great opportunity against the Olympic gold medalist. Then we had the WWE European Championship on the line. The ring general, Gunther, challenging Kevin Owens. We've seen over the last month, Gunther has made Kevin Owens' life a living hell. And after weeks of beatdowns and sneak attacks, the final Raw heading into WrestleMania, Owens demanded Gunther meet him in the ring, which he did. And we got a little bit of surprise in that one as Sami Zayn made his return. We have not seen Sami since the Survivor Series. He and Kevin at the beginning of the universe, best of friends, teammates. Last year at WrestleMania, that friendship started to fracture and come apart. We saw these two in a bitter, nasty feud over about a 6 or 7 month period. Kevin actually injured Sami in their ambulance match at Survivor Series. We hadn't seen him since. He showed up on the final Raw. You could see the look on Kevin's face. He thought he was coming for some payback, some retribution. But in a interesting twist, Sami actually attacked Gunther with a chair. And his reasoning was, even though the two of them have been the best of friends at times and the worst of enemies, at the end of the day, Kevin is still his best friend, and he couldn't sit by and watch as Kevin was a victim week after week after week at the hands of Gunther. Kevin Owens retains, still our WWE European Champion. Next up, it was the WCW Women's Championship on the line. The Women's Royal Rumble winner, Asuka, taking on Rhea Ripley. Asuka, actually from the WWE roster, decided to challenge Rhea Ripley for the WCW Women's Championship, which is her right as the Royal Rumble winner. She can go to challenge the champion of either brand. But the thing with Asuka is we've yet to see her win a championship in the open mic universe. And I think in her mind, she thought, it hasn't worked out well for me on the WWE side. Let me go and see how I can stack up against the WCW champion. And Rhea, not an easy test by any stretch of the imagination. Asuka did put up a good fight. These two went back and forth. We saw a few opportunities that Asuka may have been able to take advantage of, but in the end, the WCW Women's Champion Rhea Ripley does retain and remain WCW Women's Champion. Asuka heads back to the WWE, and we'll see where she goes from here. Then we had our second special attraction match of the night. Seth Freakin Rollins taking on the Hall of Famer, Mr. WrestleMania himself, Shawn Michaels. This was a match that was brought on by Seth Rollins himself. He issued the challenge to Mr. WrestleMania for a match. We saw with Rollins kind of had to get a little creative to get this moment here at WrestleMania. Wasn't defending a title, wasn't challenging for a title. And Rollins is somebody that I kind of see as a modern day Mr. WrestleMania. He's had some great moments. He's won some titles, defended some titles, had some huge moments on the grandest stage, and he issued this challenge to the Hall of Famer. But Michaels did accept, but his one condition, an Iron Man match as a throwback to WrestleMania 12, where Shawn would win his first WWE World Heavyweight Championship against Bret Hart. That one, though, would go to an overtime session. This one wouldn't need it. Like we said earlier, Shawn making his debut in our open mic universe. And even beyond that, it has been a long time since we've seen the Heartbreak Kid in the ring. And in all honesty, didn't really seem to have missed a step at all. Unfortunately, though, for him, time kind of played a factor. And we saw in the end, Seth Rollins would get 5 falls. The Heartbreak Kid would only get 2. But still, even in defeat, quite an impressive performance by Shawn Michaels here. Tried to get in a little bit more action before the clock would run out. But great performance from him in his return to the ring. And then another big WrestleMania moment for Seth freaking Rollins. Then it was main event time. And this one for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The challenger, the Royal Rumble winner, LA Knight, taking on the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Roman winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship for the 3rd time. At Royal Rumble, he defeated Cody Rhodes. LA Knight could have went either way. He was on the WWE brand. He could have maybe taken an easier path and chosen to go after the WCW World Heavyweight Champion. But he wanted his first potential World Heavyweight Championship to come against the big dog, and that was who he chose to challenge here in this main event spot at WrestleMania. And we're coming up on 2 years in this universe. And I've got to say, from my opinion, this was hands down the best match we've had in almost 2 years of TV shows and pay-per-views and special events. Both of these guys brought it. And in all honesty, when this match happened, we had people that were viewing it that were going for LA Knight, people that were going for Roman Reigns. And it was such a match that even if the guy you were pulling for didn't win, there was no way you were going to leave disappointed, because we saw some great false finishes. We saw some finishers get hit. We saw some near falls. It really, this match could have gone either way. Reigns, who after the challenge was issued by LA Knight, kind of made Knight's life a little bit of a living hell. He caused LA Knight to lose the WWE Intercontinental Championship to Solo Sikoa at Elimination Chamber. And all that did is fuel LA Knight even more. And in all honesty, this is the biggest opportunity that LA Knight has had in our universe. He's been a great Intercontinental Champion. Out of our, as we come up on 2 years of this universe, he was the Intercontinental Champion for all but maybe 4 months. There's a great comparison that I heard Conrad Thompson use once, describing the Intercontinental title. It's almost kind of like being the assistant manager. Well, LA Knight was tired of being the assistant manager. He was ready to be the manager, the man, the guy. And up to this point, he hasn't had that opportunity. And you never know when or even if you'll get another opportunity like this again. Sure, you could win another Rumble, you could win a Money in the Bank, but this is a guaranteed opportunity. And LA Knight, at the end of the night, would make the most of it and become our new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Thank you so much for watching. If you are enjoying the content, please like and subscribe or leave a comment down below. We'll see you in our next WrestleMania Rewind as we look back at Night 2 of WrestleMania 2.